The Harrington-Merrill House is a central part of the storied history of Hutchinson, Minnesota, and preserving it speaks to the spirit of today's community.
Hutchinson was settled in 1855 when the three Hutchinson brothers, John, Judson, and Asa, came west looking to start their own settlement. And so they came to Hutchinson. They all laid out their 160-acre plots. Most of the buildings at that time were little log shanties, very small. However, in 1858, Lewis Harrington built the first wood structure in Hutchinson, which was a feat at the time because it was very hard to get lumber into town when you had nothing but ox cart trails and foot trails to traverse. The house stood, it was actually a popular place for Little Crow. Little Crow was the Dakota leader from the Dakota band of Sioux that were in Minnesota. And Little Crow actually came to this area in Hutchinson quite often, and he would visit the Harringtons. And he was actually good friends with Lewis Harrington.
Because of broken treaties and delayed annuity payments, among other things, some Dakota people waged war on the U.S. government to try to reclaim land. This war included an attack on Hutchinson in September of 1862.
When the attack came, every building in Hutchinson was razed except for the stockade and the house. The house stands the test of time. It's been here since the beginning. It's still here today. It has survived a war. It has survived grasshopper plagues. It's survived everything, and it's still here. So as far as the city of Hutchinson and McLeod County go, it's one of the most important structures in the area.
Lewis Harrington was also a land surveyor and designed the layout of Hutchinson in 1855, which included parks, a town square, a school site, and a church.
If you look around Hutchinson today, Lewis's 1855 design for the town is still here. Lewis Harrington's home is a symbol of the vision that the early founders had for this town. The home needs to be preserved.
When the Harrington-Merrill House was damaged by fire and threatened with being torn down, Historic Hutchinson saw this as an opportunity to work with the city to save the property. So Historic Hutchinson partnered with the city of Hutchinson to take the property and put it into the park systems.
Historic Hutchinson started as a community with the Visitors Bureau with the intention to tell Hutchinson's story and to bring visitors to the area through tourism. A time later, our 501c3 was adopted, and we developed our mission statement, which is to restore, preserve, and protect the living and structural history and the spirit of the Hutchinson area, and to showcase these assets now and for the future. So here we are, 23 years later. We've raised over $500,000, and we have ongoing projects like the Harrington-Merrill House.
Since over the years, many changes were made to the structure. A decision was made to restore the house to its 1900 grandeur. An historical architect, Robert Clayball, was hired to assure that the renovation was historically correct. It was also decided to rebuild the west wing of the house that had been destroyed during the fire. Money was needed to restore the house, and the project received great support from individuals, foundations, business leaders, as well as galas and other fundraising events put on by Historic Hutchinson. That began about a 10-year journey of restoration where the house was raised and put on a new foundation. The color was determined, and the west wing was rebuilt with peg and beam construction, no nails to the frame. The windows were restored by a historically accurate window company. By 2012, the Harrington-Merrill House project was completed on the exterior, and it was nominated to the National Register of Historic Places, and it was accepted to the National Register in December of 2012. Before Historic Hutchinson was formed, the city of Hutchinson lost important historic structures. These include the Old City Hall and Fire Hall, the Armory, the Masonic Temple, Ansgar College, the bathhouse, which was a WPA project at the dam on Main Street, the North Star Station on Main Street, where the Fireman's Park is now, and the other 2 rail depots. In addition to the Harrington-Merrill House, Historic Hutchinson was also instrumental in saving the Quast Mural, the St. John's Episcopal Church, the depot, and the Hager Jewelry Clock. While 8 old structures are gone, Historic Hutchinson has saved 5 historic structures, with more preservation projects to come in the future.
Historic Hutchinson started out as being an arm of the Convention and Visitors Bureau to help tell Hutchinson's story. But it became evident very quickly that we were also the conscience of Hutchinson when it came to the historic assets and preserving them. It was a big leap for the city and for our group to take on such a large project. But it is truly our flagship project that helps tell the story of Hutchinson and will keep on giving that gift of history to future generations.